What's going on? It's Astronaut H, and this is the What More Do You Want Network. Now, in this video, I will be discussing tonight's game between the Chicago Bulls and the Atlanta Hawks. And of course, if you watch any video like this in the past or seen any video like this in the past that I've posted, you know that this is my Bulls report. Now, of course, the Bulls are coming off a win versus the Dallas Mavericks, in which they basically ran away with the game from start to finish. So it was a back-to-back, and they traveled on the road to face off against the Hawks, who were pretty much without a few of their stars, John Collins and Javante Murray. And I honestly, was interested to see how the Bulls was going to look versus not a bad Hawks team, but they are not where a lot of people thought they were going to be before the season started. So, of course, I was interested seeing how the Bulls looked after a back-to-back, were guys going to come out tired, laxed, and so on and so forth. So, Billy Donovan without Alex Caruso and, of course, without Lonzo Ball, did have Green back in the lineup tonight. And, I thought that was going to get us at least enough to be in the game, right? You have Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Nikola Vucevic, and the supporting cast, and that should be enough to put you in position to give you the best chance to win the basketball game this evening. So without further ado, let me get right into my notes. And at the beginning of the game, Patrick Williams did get the first bucket, and I liked what I saw from Patrick Williams early. I liked what I saw from Zach LaVine early, going out on a transition dunk. And the Bulls, they did at times in the first did look like a team that played the night before. Now, granted, the Mavericks didn't have Luka Doncic, but the Bulls did still have to win that game late. Even though they were up, they still had to win the game. So they did at times in the first look like a team that did play the night before. Vucevic was getting paint touches early. He was showing, flashes in the matchup against Capella. Jones Jr. off the bench with brilliant minutes early. I mean, he was showing his athleticism. He was showing that, going after rebounds. He was showing he was doing the things in that spot where you should expect him on the regular to do. Get in, get good minutes, get productive, and also with Dragic off the bench also. So get in, get good minutes, and be productive in your 6, 7, 8 minutes off the bench and in the quarter, things like that. Kobe White did hit a 30-footer to end the quarter, and the Bulls did end up leading by 1. Now, in the second, it was a lot of line drives and layups, but we did get some good minutes from Andre Drummond. DeMar DeRozan was also aggressive in the second, but the Bulls two things were going on in this game. Fouls that weren't going the Bulls' way, and turnovers that the Bulls were just inflicting self-inflicted wounds basically through the cause of the game. I felt like had it been for them, not turning the ball over as much and, crashing the boards a little more and able to hit the three. Now, they weren't able to hit the three at the same rate they were last night because the Chicago Bulls are not a great three-point shooting team. They are a team where it's predicated around mid-range post, drives, transition. They are not a very good three-point shooting team, and tonight showed that as well. Now, the Hawks the Hawks were assertive, in the second, and they ended up going up by 7. They went on a few runs. They went on a few runs in the second, and the Bulls were down 8 at the half. But again, in the third, Green, he got in, he get the first basket. You seen Patrick Williams crashing the boards. But the calls, they were affecting DeMar DeRozan. Capella was crashing we know what Clint Capella do. He was crashing the boards a whole lot in tonight's game. And the Bulls, like I said, turnovers, and they ended up being down by 12 at one point in the third quarter. Now, the Bulls did give themselves a sense of a run. Again, Andre Drummond, Goran Dragic, guys like that coming in, adding sparks. Zach didn't have a great game. He didn't have a great game, but he was showing those sparks. We need Zach to do what he did a year ago, but again, surgery and things like that prevents him from being explosive as I know he wants to be at this stage in the season. Because again, like they said, Zach LaVine didn't have a real legit offseason. So in the third, the Bulls were down, but I felt like they weren't out of the game. So in the fourth, the Bulls did start on a 6-0 run. They tied the game at the defensive end. Jones Jr. Now, listen, right? In the fourth quarter, it was a lot of back and forth. The Bulls got close. But you've seen some big shots by Atlanta. And one of the biggest plays was when the Bulls were down. The Bulls were down at the end of regulation, I believe. And DeMar DeRozan, they inbounded to DeMar DeRozan. He did a turnaround, basically almost like a turnaround fading jump shot. Had it not been for Derrick Jones Jr. in position to grab that rebound and do a putback, the Bulls would have ultimately lost that game on that play. Derrick Jones Jr. did eventually get fouled, went to the line with a chance to win the game, made the first free throw, missed the second, so we went into overtime. In overtime, you basically saw a team like Chicago in position to win the game. Like, again, the OT was even back and forth for a little while. And you saw that the Bulls were just in position to ultimately get the game, win the game. Trae Young ended up with the ball in his hands a lot in the overtime. Hit a big shot. Hit a really, really big shot. So the Bulls got their chance. They got their chance at the end of overtime. They inbound the ball to DeRozan. DeRozan shot the three. He gets fouled by Bogdanovich. And DeRozan knocks down all 3 free throws. So this is basically the end of overtime. And the Bulls were in prime position to win this basketball game, if you ask me, right? They were in position to take this win on the road against an Eastern Conference foe, so to speak. So, the Hawks draw up a play. Everybody's coming towards the ball. The wave of the defenders are following, of course, Trae Young. But it was only, I believe, 0.5 of a second on the clock. They throw the ball in. I believe AJ Griffith get the basketball. And he doesn't even come down with the ball. It's just like a turnaround, throw-up shot behind his shoulder. And it ends up going in, and the Bulls end up losing tonight's matchup in overtime versus the Atlanta Hawks. And the game, in my opinion, could have went either way, right? It could have went either way. And the Bulls did lose this game 123-122. The Bulls are now 11-15 on the season. The Bulls only gave up one 30-point quarter. They did give up 36 in the second quarter to Atlanta. But, this one hurts because the Bulls had the game, not only in overtime, but also in regulation, at the end of regulation with Derrick Jones Jr. at the line, and not being able to get a stop in overtime and not being able to hit your free throws in regulation was the cause of another loss for the Chicago Bulls. This one hurts a little because I know the Bulls could have won this game. They had the talent and they just didn't express it on this particular night. But I'm going to get into the stats. The Bulls' next game is Wednesday versus the New York Knicks, and that is a home game. I believe it's a 7:30 start. So I'll see what they do on that particular game. But let's get into tonight's stats. As far as the Bulls are concerned, DeMar DeRozan did have a double-double, 34 points, 13 rebounds. Patrick Williams, 8.7 rebounds. Nikola Vucevic, I would have liked to see a lot more paint touches from him tonight. I know he was going up against a better defensive, big in Clint Capella, but I feel like Nikola Vucevic should be scoring more than 13 points. 13 points, 8 rebounds. That's not enough. Your big three has to do more. He should be getting at least 3 paint touches a quarter. That's just me. I'm going to give you the old Magic and Kareem thing. Give him the ball at least 3 times in the paint where he wants the basketball. Please. I'm begging you, Billy. As far as Zach LaVine, he did have 21 points, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds. Ayo Dosunmu, 14 minutes, 2 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists. Kobe White, who hit a very, very timely 3 in the fourth quarter, did have 12 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Derrick Jones Jr. on 26 minutes did have 14 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists. Andre Drummond, 16 minutes, 9 rebounds, 14 points. Dragic, who didn't have a lot of points tonight, 17 minutes, no rebounds, 6 assists, 2 points. And Javonte Green, 3 rebounds. He had a bucket. And that was the Bulls scoring tonight. So, like I said, I would have liked to see a lot more from the Bulls in that position, because no Murray, no Collins. Of course, the others from Atlanta was going to be prime and ready for tonight. But I feel like the Bulls could have won this game, not only due to lack of, free throw shooting in the end, but also defense on that last bucket in overtime. So, you can't cry over spilled milk. What's done is done. Move on to the next one, which is versus the Knicks. The Knicks have been coming on a lot lately. So we'll see. Julius Randle with R.J. Barrett look like. Of course, newly acquired Jalen Brunson. And we're going to see what the Bulls look like versus the Knicks come Wednesday. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Did you guys watch the game, Bulls fans, Atlanta Hawks fans? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. It's always great to hear from you guys. It's greatly appreciated. Don't forget to always like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can know anytime a video is being uploaded to this channel. It's Astronaut H. This is the What More Do You Want Network, and I catch you guys on the next video.